So I've been hitting with a couple of Paddletek prototypes for the past few months. These are Gen 4 thermoformed foam paddles with a multi-layer core structure, polyurethane foam, EVA foam shaped into a diving board, and EPP foam in the center. The EVA stops at 4 and 8 o'clock, which leaves the upper perimeter intentionally less stiff to raise the sweet spot. And just to be clear, these are prototypes. These are also on the UPAA approved list, but I haven't found them on the USAP approved list yet, although they do have both stamps. So these may not be exactly what hits shelves. I think they're interesting, so I wanted to talk about them. I've got both the 14 and 16 millimeter versions, and they play noticeably different. The 16 millimeter is more head heavy and gives you better dwell and control right out of the box. The 14 millimeter is less head heavy, closer to balanced, plays stiffer, and has a faster response, but less margin for error. There's definitely a calibration period where you're getting used to the timing. Now here's the thing about power. Neither of these paddles gives you free trampoline-like power, which I actually think is a good thing. They sit right in the middle of the pack for power generation. If you're looking for explosive baseline power, you might be disappointed, but again, the power is good here. I have all the numbers up at mattspickleball.com. I think spin is one standout feature. That combination of raw T700 carbon and the dwell you get from the foam core makes spin aggressive and consistent. Over a couple of months, I haven't noticed any changes. I'm talking noticeably more bite on the ball compared to other stiffer faced paddles in this foam category. The feel is on the denser side and plusher than the actual Bantams, but way more forgiving. There's no vibration, which stood out immediately, and in echoey clubs, it still produces a sharp crack. Control is clearly better here on the 16 millimeter. Touch shots settle in more naturally, and the dwell time helps shape drops and resets. The 14 millimeter is more demanding. It requires more weight to reach that same level of consistency. Both paddles have limited stock stability because of the low twist weight, so off-center contact can feel unstable. I added some weight at the bottom corners for testing, and it noticeably improved forgiveness, especially on the 14 millimeter. I added a 4-inch strip of 1 gram per inch strip on the lower corner bend. So if you're someone who generates your own power, wants good spin and hand speed, and doesn't mind adding weight to dial in stability, these are worth a look. The 16 millimeter is more complete out of the box and better for players who want control and more forgiveness. This stock grip is a bit chunky. Again, check out the details at mattspickleball.com. The 14 millimeter is more of a tuning project. Faster, crisper, smaller grip, and I think better suited for advanced players. Pricing isn't set yet, so I can't speak to value, but based on the construction and where they sit performance-wise, these are mid-power, spin-forward foam paddles, not extreme power force designs. I've got all the detailed specs, measurements, and performance data over on my website at mattspickleball.com if you want to dive deeper. So what do you think about this multi-foam core approach? Let me know in the comments.